Hey, this is Dani, and today I want to talk about kind of when challenging things happen and how we react, because some things are happening for me and I'm noticing a lot of cool things that I think can be helpful, just because, life is maybe, I've heard statistics like life is like 90%, 10% what happens to you and 90% what you make it, right? Like, so we can't always control the things that are happening, but we can supposedly, control ourselves. That's the one part of it that we have some control over. And so it's important to remember that. And because, you get into a situation, okay, so I'm just going to be specific because I don't know how to be vague and get my point across, but I'm going to be very specific. So I'm in training with Digikey, and things are challenging for me. And this is nothing against the company. This is like just a person who has gone through one whole year of nobody telling me to do anything into an environment where clock in at this moment, we're going to control you all day long and give you almost zero time to kind of do anything free. And then we'll tell you when you can leave, right? So of course, it's like a job. Like, what was I expecting, right? I can hear some of you saying that, but coming from my perspective, it is a rude awakening. Okay, one of these days I'm going to learn to remember to put my phone on airplane mode when I do a video so I don't get interrupted and get kicked off video. Okay, anyway, that's just learning for me. So I've come into an environment of pure freedom and gone into an environment of pure oversight and pure kind of mandated. Everything is kind of mandated. And it's part of me feels like I'm just throwing myself against a brick wall. Now, my first reaction was this shouldn't be happening. They aren't doing it right. That was my first reaction, and kind of indignation and like pissed and just like, am I even staying for day number 2? And kind of that whole thing was kind of my go-to, and it's just how I was feeling. Now, feelings are valid, but not always necessarily helpful. So when I started to look at that, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this and I'm saying this shouldn't be happening. So I know from life coach training and from life and everything, right, that when I'm saying it shouldn't be like this, then there's a problem with me, because fighting against what is ridiculousness. It's insanity is to fight against what is. You just look at it objectively and say, okay, this is how they're choosing to do it. Now I have power. I have choice. My anger, my irritation, my indignation at being treated a certain way was all a reaction to my deep-seated fear. And my fear is not enough money. So when I have a fear of not enough money, I need to make an income, and I need to make a decent income, and I need to make it relatively quickly because, because I've had this year off and I was over budget and everything. And so now I need to, make up for a little time and get a little ahead, right? So I have this kind of urgency. But the main thing, if I get beyond the anger, the irritation, the indignation, whatever, the righteousness that I was feeling, like I'd been wronged in some way. I know it sounds silly when I say it now, but I mean, that's my first reaction. When I dug a little deeper, you can see that I can see for me that it is all fear. So if I felt like I had freedom, this is a temporary job. So literally, I could leave at any time. I could leave. I could let them know today, I don't think this is for me, and I could leave. I have that freedom. And while I did go over budget, and while I do want to build back up my savings, I do still have savings. I could still leave. I could still leave. And when I realized that and thought about that, it relieved so much of the pressure. And because all of a sudden I went from feeling in some way trapped, like I made this obligation, I drove all the way up here. I've been here for like a week because I had orientation before the actual first day, and you had like a few days in between and blah, blah, blah. I've been here for like a week. I drove all this way. I made a commitment. I gave my word. All of this stuff, and like my plan has me making all this money for 3 months that I can use, that I can live on and plus supplement. So my plan was falling apart, and when I realized that I was being driven really by fear, I just took a step back and said, okay, what's the real situation here? I'm afraid. I'm afraid I don't have enough money. I'm afraid if I leave here and get a different position somewhere else, I'm not going to make enough money to start digging myself out of a hole and put myself in a powerful position where I want to be. At the same time, like YouTube revenues are way down. Like January's and February is a big month because of RTR and stuff. And I had some van tours and stuff that I did like last year and maybe January. Van tours get really high ratings on YouTube, and the other stuff that I do does fine, but it's not anywhere near what van tours do. So just an interesting side fact, if you look at your favorite YouTubers and maybe they used to talk about food prep, or they used to do a lot of hiking and climbing, and now they're doing van tours, once a week or once a month or more and more, it's because van tours get a lot more views. So anyway, YouTube revenue way down, but I can't count on that. And YouTube revenue, even on a good month, YouTube revenue is under 200, and on a bad month it's 100, or looks like this month will be less than 100. I think that's my first month less than $100 revenue since I got monetized. Anyway, that's a sidetrack, but just to let you know, like the momentum right now is like finances are down. So all that just stirred up a bunch of fear. So if I can't do this and follow my plan, and YouTube isn't picking up, because in my mind, again, expectations. So I'm showing you like my pitfalls so you can look at your life and see like where you might be doing this too, because I think it's really powerful. So another pitfall is expectations. So I had expectations that, what were my expectations? No, I won't see just one month is greater than another. We will have months that are a little higher and a little lower, but overall I thought the arc will go up for YouTube, because I've been monetized since August. So that's September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. This is my 8th month, and this will be my lowest month in revenue since I started, since I got monetized. So that to me was not what I was expecting. So again, it's expectations. And why does that expectation matter? Well, YouTube is supposed to be just for fun. It's like, I did it out of love. I do it out of fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. Especially now that I'm working all these hours, I was like, am I even going to still want to do YouTube? Doing my YouTube editing video last night that I did was the highlight of my day. So yeah, I think I'm going to still want to do YouTube videos. It's fun, but still in the back of my mind, there's an expectation that over time that will build. It hasn't happened that way. And so with 8 months of data under the belt, I'm kind of like, well, that isn't going the way. So that's, again, back to the money thing, back to the financial insecurity. And financial insecurity has been a theme of my life since my divorce. It's had things before then, but seriously huge since my divorce, because, right before my divorce, I had my second child. I left like professional corporate life as a marketing director, and I went into things that would allow me to have work-life balance and be a mom, but they paid way, 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 way less. So I made like 30% of what I used to make, right? But I wanted work-life balance. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do the big, work a salaried position, you know, have all the pressure, plus have 2 kids, plus, you know, cook and clean and, you know, do all the things that I was doing, which was everything. Which was everything. So even though I was married, but anyway, that's a story for a different day, right? So anyway, you can see where I got myself all worked up because of expectations and because of fear. And even expectations are fear based, because I want to know what to expect so I can feel secure, so I don't have to be scared about what happens. It's all fear. So when things like Course in Miracles or some kind of ancient wisdom or anything says to you, like, it's, if you boil it all down, it really is fear or love, and maybe fear or trust. Fear or love, to me sometimes it feels a lot like trust, but love is even a higher, you know, kind of vibration or emotion than trust. But it really does come down to, am I going to have faith or am I going to have fear? So am I going to trust in that love and that benevolence and that everything's going to be fine or everything's working for me? Or am I going to be afraid, thinking I have to control everything, thinking everything's going to fall apart, blah, blah, blah. So now that I have that fear kind of recognized, I'm not afraid to feel it. I'll feel it. I'm not pushing it away. I think anytime we're pushing away our emotions, we are not doing ourselves a service, because they don't go anywhere. They just get pushed down and then they can bubble up later. But here's the thing. I would definitely not be serving myself if I was still in anger and resentment and irritation. All of that definitely doesn't serve me. But when I realize that that's all a function of my fear, and if I address my fear and I'm willing to feel it and then take steps to say, this is why I feel afraid, but this is the real situation. I could really leave anytime I wanted to. Then I feel more empowered. Then the position I'm in is like, okay, I'm here right now and I'm getting paid. So, and I know I was guided here. I know I was brought here for a reason. I don't know what that reason is yet. The reason might not be to stay for 3.5 months and make money. The reason might be, oh, you hate it. This is your chance to actually leave something that you hate. Like you said, you were never going to work a job that you hated again. You said you weren't going to do that. So let's see if you're going to do it or not. Not that I believe that the universe gives you tests, really, but I think there's a reason I'm here, and I don't know what it is yet, so I'm not leaving until I am clear on that. And now I have freedom. Now I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm making money, let's figure this out. Do I really not like it? Would I rather do something else? Do I want to search for a job? Do I want to go in today and make the absolute best of it? Yes to everything. Yes to everything. Yes, I kind of want to look for another job. Yes, I want to go in today, make it positive and powerful, and do the absolute best I can for me, because I feel better, not only just for them. I don't do it out of even obligation. You know, there's this whole like school of thought, you know, do what you say you're going to do and blah, blah, blah. But it sets you up for like being resentful and being trapped and everything. I have to do it for me. I feel like I feel better when I honor my word. I feel better when I do a good job. I feel better. So I'm going to go in there today. It's day 3 of training. I'm going to be powerful and positive. I'm going to put on my smile, and I'm going to recognize when I feel any irritation or this shouldn't be happening thing come up, that I can take a look at it later. I can feel that irritation in the moment and let it pass through. But I don't have to latch onto it, because haven't you ever been in those positions? I've been in these positions too, before life coach training, before I had more tools. And I would be in a situation where this shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't be treating me like this. They should be doing it different. And I would be so indignant and so upset and not understand the underlying fear that I would just think it's all their fault. And I would leave or whatever and never get the benefit. Or knowing me, I would stay and build resentment and build bad feelings and negativity. And who wants all that? Not me. I don't ever want that again. So I feel like I've sufficiently talked this through, and I know I've gotten something out of this. I hope that you have too. Let me know if any of it resonated or if you can use any of it, and let me know. And I appreciate you being here. And now it's time to go into work. I was nice and early. I have put on my bright colored. Somebody's honking their horn. No, it isn't. It's a train. No, it's a train. Anyway, I've put on my bright colored tie-dye today, my cheery, happy clothes. And so let's do this. Let's do this. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you next time.